Really?
Yeah, a lot of YouTube videos.
Oh, she copied it.
No, not copy.
Okay. What do you like?
Yeah, I remember there is a video. They said that a man. They asked the waiter. The man need to do emergency, so he needs to open the laptop. But he have no Wi-Fi password. And then he asked the waitress, "What's the Wi-Fi password? I'm emergency. Need to quickly open my computer." And then the waitress, you know what waitress say? $1 million, please. And then he gave him $1 million. And he said, "What's the Wi-Fi password? $1 million, please." And he said, "What?" You okay? And he said $1 million. And like he didn't open his computer.
Because it's emergency, right?
Yeah.
What story you like? This one? A Piper of Hamelin? Oh, I read this one before to the ano.
You like it?
No, I like it too. You want this one? Or Harry and Dinosaur Unite?
Harry and Dinosaur is so boring.
Sam and the Robots?
Okay lah.
This one lah.
Kashuma.
Okay.
Kashuma. I like Kashuma.
Kashuma?
This one.
Oh, this one. Okay. Oh, close eyes lah. I read to you. Kasuma at the art tip. One day, Katsuma went to see the paintings in the Guggenheim Gallery. Some mushlings were at the Guggenheim Gallery that day too. They were on a trip with Diablo, and they were all shouting and running around. All at once, Ginger Snap tripped. He landed with his paws right on one of the paintings. Ginger Snap get away from that painting, shouting Diablo, as alarm went off. When Ginger Snap took his paws away, there was paint all over them and some of the painting was missing. That painting must still be wet, thought Katsuma. But how can it be with it's been here for so long? The gallery director came to look at all the paintings. They were all still wet. These paintings are not real, the director said. A thief must have taken the real paintings and put fake paintings on the walls. Katsuma said, if the fake paintings are still wet, the thief must have just put them here. How can we get the real paintings back? The director asked. I find a way, said Katsuma. First, Katsuma went to wash off the paint. When he came back from washing, his hat was missing. A thief has taken my hat, he said. Katsuma thought he saw someone going towards the gallery entrance, and he went to look. Too bad he didn't see the banana skin on the floor. Help! Shouted Katsuma. Katsuma grabbed the sign at the gallery entrance. He could then see some footprints on the floor, going towards the Hall of Fame. With one big jump, Katsuma landed right in the Hall of Fame. He followed the footprints to a room, where he found two little tunnels. Katsuma followed a light in one of the tunnels. He saw more big footprints on the floor, and little ones too. He kept going down the long tunnel until he came to a reading room. Katsuma opened the door, and all at once a big flash of tooth soda came right at him. First my hat, then the banana skin, and now tooth soda. Someone wants to get me, he said. In the reading room, Katsuma found a big magnifying glass. Just what I want, he said. With the magnifying glass, Katsuma looked at the paw prints in the Guggenheim Gallery. These are not paw prints, he said. They are glove prints. Now Katsuma knew just who he was looking for, Dr. Strangelove, and he knew who could help. Elder Fury. Katsuma went to find him. My super mushies are already looking at Dr. Strangelove's paint in a secret lab, Elder Fury told Katsuma. Elder Fury took Katsuma to the secret lab. We found that Dr. Strangelove's paint can hypnotize mushlings, said Elder Fury. Lots of mushlings are already missing. Katsuma ran back to the Guggenheim Gallery to see if he could help. Lots of mushies were already there. What's going on? Katsuma asked Puppet. The missing mushling have been found, she said, but they're in a cave with Dr. Strangelove. Puppet told Katsuma that Dr. Strangelove had hypnotized all the muslin so he could plumb them. Katsuma knew where the cave was. I have to stop him, he said, brushing off. When Katsuma got to the cave, Dr. Strangelove was already at his clumping machine. Stop the machine, Katsuma shouted. Dr. Strangelove turned around. Just then, some super mushi grabbed at Dr. Strangelove. He got away, but the mushling were safe and the real paintings were safe too. Katsuma's long day was over. It turned out all right, he thought. It's just too bad that Dr. Strangelove is still out there. But one day someone will stop him, and I want that someone to be me. How much do you remember about the story of Mushi Monster? Katsuma and the art thief answer these questions and find out. Where does Katsuma go to see some paintings? Which muslin strips lands on a painting? What is wrong with all the paintings? Who has stolen the paintings and replaced them with fake ones? Where does Elder Fruit take Katsuma? What does Dr. Strange do special paint to the muslin? Strangelove Gallery. No. Strange. They take it away. Strange. Okay, din na. Next, Luli and the Glump Atrian. You close your eyes. One day, Lubli came to see Buster. You don't like this one? You sleep eyes, you close eyes lama. Bubble Chops and the Muslings at Buster Ranch. So I don't read la?
Yeah, don't read it. I read it a lot of times.
Okay.
It's very
The Pied Piper la of Hamelin. The Pied Piper Hamelin. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful little town called Hamelin. The people of Hamelin were all very happy until the day that rats came. Thousands of rats came to Hamelin. There were There were where?
Why do you keep on?
Where? There were big were. It's like this one, right?
Oh my
God. So big, so scary. There were big rats and little rats, then thin rats and fat rats. There were rats in all the houses and rats in all the shops. There are rats on my table, said one man. There are rats under my chair, said another. There are rats in my kitchen, called one woman. Oh my God. There are rats in my bed, called another. Oh my God, so many rats, so scary. There are rats all over the house, called a little boy. Make these rats go away, called a little girl. The people of Hamelin went to see the mayor. Get rid of these rats, they shouted. What can I do? Said the mayor. There are rats in my house too. I cannot get rid of them. But the people said, you must make all the rats go away. If you don't make them go away, we will choose another mayor.
So bad on the people.
Then one day, a stranger went to see the mayor. He was dressed in red and yellow. I read also before this one on cheap book. In his hands, he carried a pipe. I am the Pied Piper, said the stranger, and I can make the rats go away. The mayor said, if you can make this rat go away, I will give you lots of money. Very well, said the Pied Piper, but don't forget your promise. Then the Pied Piper went into the street of Hamelin and began to play a strange tune. The rats heard the tune and stopped what they were doing. Suddenly one rat ran after the Pied Piper. Then another rat ran after him, and another. Soon all the rats ran after the Pied Piper. The Pied Piper walked towards the river, still playing the strange tune on his pipe. The rats followed him and jumped into the river, and that was the end of the rats. The Pied Piper went back to see the mayor. The rats have all gone, he said. Please give me the money you promised me. No. So the mayor is so bad. She did not keep her promise. Said the mayor, I have no money to give you. The story of Chip and Beep is like this too. The mayor is rude. Did you read it before, Riley? In Chip and Beep? It's not it's a story in the key when they use the key and they go in the
I don't see the story.
If you don't give me the money, said the Pied Piper, I will play another tune and you will not be so happy then. You can do what you like, said the mayor. So the Pied Piper went out into the street, began to play another tune. In all the houses and all the streets the children stopped playing. Then one by one they ran after the Pied Piper. They go to the Pied Piper. The people of Hamelin called to the children to stop, but the children did not hear. They followed the Pied Piper through the street and over the river. They followed the Pied Piper out of the town and up a mountain. Suddenly the mountain opened up and Pied Piper went inside. The children followed him. Inside the mountain was a beautiful land full of trees and flowers and birds. But one little boy had hurt his leg and he could not keep up with another children. He saw his friends go into the mountain, but he was too late to follow them. The little boy went back to the town and went to see the mayor. My friends are inside the mountain with the Pied Pipers. They will never come back. The people above were very unhappy. Where are our children? They shouted to the mayor. You must go and find them. The people was very angry. So the mayor went to look for the children. He looked for years and years and years. He's still looking for them now. Oh, the story is not like this.
How? What happened?
But this story is very nice.
I don't know.
Because in the Pip and Bip story is
They keep on find and then they find it.
no, is I just only read when the people was angry. And then they followed the piper. That's the end. It's not like this. No, this one. She followed for years and years. There's no ending this one. So this one book is nice because have an ending like this. Next, dinosaur. What dinosaur? Sam and the robots lah. Harry and the dinosaur united. Harry and his dinosaur went everywhere together. When Harry went to the shop, the dinosaur went to the shop. When Harry went out to play, the dinosaur went out to play. And when the Harry went to school, the dinosaur went to school too.
Yeah.
Harry was in Mrs. Ramsey's class at school. One day, Mrs. Ramsey said, "It's time for the school football competition. We need a class football team and our team will need a captain." Miss Ramsey picked Harry to be the team captain. He was very excited. The dinosaurs all wanted to play. So Harry picked them first, then he picked the children for the rest of the team. At playtime, Harry and the dinosaur talked about which position they wanted to play. Triceratops and Tyrannosaurus wanted to play in goal. Pterodactyl wanted to play on the wing. After school, Harry and the rest of his team went to Mr. Oakley's field to practice. The children ran about everywhere, but they got in one another's way. Then Harry's big sister Sam turned up. "Right," she said, "all of you can play against me." The dinosaurs all ran after Sam, but they could not catch her. When they were all popped out, she ran past them and scored. "Your team is rubbish," said Sam. "I can't beat them on my own. You will never win the competition." Harry was so gross. He kicked the ball hard into Mr. Oakley's field. Nan and Mr. Oakley came to see what the ball was doing in his field. Sam said, "Our football team is rubbish," said Harry. "You're not rubbish," said Nan. "You just have to practice." "That's right," said Mr. Oakley. "Come back again and you can practice playing football against me and my old friends." So, the next day, Harry and the rest of his team came back to Mr. Oakley's fields. "Here we are, Harry," said Mr. Oakley. "We may look as old as your dinosaur, but we can play football as well as you can." The dinosaurs were worried about playing. "We don't want to be rubbish," they said. "Don't be worried, my dinosaurs," said Harry. If you don't want to play, you can be our mascotasauruses. We will have a Triceratops mascotasaurus, as a Tyrannosaurus mascotosaurus, and Pterodactyl mascotosaurus. Harry knew that the way to win was to play together as a team. "Right," he said. "Don't all run after the ball and get buffed up." stay in position, or run into space and call for a pass. Harry and his On that day out of competition, Harry and Dinosaur were excited but worried. The children in the other team were older and bigger than them. Harry and his team each got a Mascotosaurus and ran onto the football field. "Come on, Dinosaurs United!" they roared. Harry's team played very well, but at halftime they were 2 goals down. "Time for a team talk," said Harry. "Come on," said Harry. "Play together and we can win." And the Mascotosauruses all roared. "Let's all get excited for Dinosaurs United." In the second half, Harry and his friends played just like a real football team. They stayed in position and passed the ball, and with a second to go, they scored 2 goals. Then Harry ran into space. He knew what to do. He called for the ball. "Pass it, pass it." Harry kicked the ball as hard as he could. It went right in the top corner. Goal! Harry had scored the winner. Dinosaurs United had won. On the way home, Mr. Oakley said to Nan, "You can't beat us, old dinosaur, can you?" "Not when we play as a team," said Harry. The end. Harry. Mr. Oakley. Harry. Sam and the Robots. Sam and the Robots. Sam was good at the building things. One day he built a robot. "I'm Pod," said the robot. "Who are you?" "I'm Sam," said Sam. "Pleased to meet you." Pod the robot liked to build things too. "What shall we build now?" asked Sam one day. "Can we build another robot, please?" said Pod. So Sam and Pod built a new robot. She was called Boots. Boots was a football robot, and she was very good at her job. She scored goal after goal after goal. Sam's school won the next match, and the next one. In fact, soon they had won all the football matches. Sam and Pod built another new robot. It was called Dinner Whiz. Dinner Whiz was a robot to serve school dinners. Dinner Whiz was very good at his job and served tasty school dinners on plate after plate. Sam and Pat then built one more robot called Choc. Choc was a robot who made yummy chocolates, and he was also great at his job. Everybody in the town wanted to eat Choc's tasty chocolates. Sam and Pat kept on building new robots, and soon the town was full of busy robots all working hard. All day long, they sweep, they mop, and they mop, and they sweep. The whole town was sparkling clean. Everybody was happy as nobody else needed to work at all. Oh, the people will become lazy when all doing is robot life. One day, though, it all went wrong. The robots became too busy and they could not stop cleaning. "Stop," said Sam. But the robots just keep on working and working. Boots scored 10 goals. Through tin windows at school. Crash, tickle, stop, Boots, cried some. But Boots kept on scoring goal through one window after another. Crash, tickle. Dinner Whiz did not stop serving school dinners, even though all the plates were full. Stop, Dinner Whiz, cried some. But Dinner Whiz kept on serving, and soon the school was full of dinners. Chalk made all the wrong chocolates. Please stop, Chalk, cried some. Nobody wants chocolate cars or chocolate pencil. But Chalk would not stop. He just kept on making the wrong chocolates. Soon the whole town was full of chocolates. Even Pod started to go wrong. I know what's wrong, said Sam. You robots need a holiday. What's a holiday? Asked Pod. On a holiday you have time to rest and have fun, said Sam. Yes, please, said Pod. As long as we can work too. So Sam and the robots got on a train to the seaside. The train is fun as long as we can still work, said Pod. The robots started to work. They sweep and they mop and they mop and they sweep. Soon the whole train was sparkling clean. At last the train got to the seaside. Now we can rest and have some fun, said Sam. The seaside does look fun, said Pod. All that sun needs sweeping away. All that water needs mopping up. The robots started work. They swept the sun and they mopped up the water. But the more they swept, the more sun there was. The more they mopped, the more water there was. No, robots, please stop, cried Sam. You don't work on holiday. You have a rest in the sunshine like this. Sam lay down to have a rest. So then all the robots lay down too. But soon all the robots were bored, Pod and other got up again. Robots don't rest, and we're bored. We need to be keep busy. Then Sam had an idea. I know what we need to do, he said. Sam, Pod, and all the other robots got busy. They worked hard together in the sun. They dug and they built and built and they dug. Sam and the robots built a big sandcastle. They keep on building all day long, and the sandcastle got bigger and bigger and bigger. We built a good sandcastle, said the robots. In the end, no, said Sam. You built a great sandcastle. Then Sam said, now we'll all eat an ice cream. What's an ice cream? Asked Pod. It's a tasty cold food, said Sam. No, we need cold yummy oil, please, says Pod. Yes, please, cold yummy oil, said all the robots. Sam and the robots got the last train back from the seaside. It was a great holiday, said Pod, but we will be happy to get back home, and we will be very happy to get back to work, said the other robots. The end. Pencil and car, where does Sam Darrow go on Holiday Beach? What do they do there? Build the castle. What do they? Oily, I am yummy oil. Cold yummy oil. The end. I finish all this. La 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 la. read this one. Jane Eyre.